From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, December the 7th, 2020. Israel's defense minister and alternate prime minister and blue and white party leader Benny Gantz met yesterday with Likud member and finance minister Yisrael Katz over the state budget in an effort to avert the collapse of the government and prevent a new round of elections in Israel. The meeting was said to have concluded with no tangible results. According to the Times of Israel, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told his factions meeting, "I hope we avoid elections, but if blue and white insists on dispersing the Knesset, we will win." Some violent incidents in the West Bank, rioting residents of the Kalandia refugee camp threw cement blocks and other heavy objects onto Israeli border police officers from rooftops this morning. Under attack, the officers opened fire. 6 Israeli troops and 4 Palestinians were injured in the incident. In a separate incident at the Kalandia security checkpoint, a Palestinian man on foot in a lane reserved for cars refused several calls to stop by Israeli security officers as he approached them and was shot in the leg, according to protocol. Medics were called to the scene and took him to a Jerusalem hospital for treatment. Israel police are investigating. And Palestinian reports that a Palestinian teenager was shot by Israeli troops during a violent protest Friday in the West Bank and died. The IDF said the claim was known to the IDF, and in light of the incident, the military police's investigatory unit has opened an investigation. Well, the family of British author Roald Dahl has issued an apology for the writer's anti-Semitic comments. Dahl died 30 years ago. His writing includes such beloved classics as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and James and the Giant Peach. But he also was vocally anti-Semitic throughout his career and life, with comments including those to the New Statesman in 1983 about the Jews, saying even a stinker like Hitler didn't just pick on them for no reason. The apology was reported on this weekend in the Sunday Times. It reads, in part, the Dahl family and the Roald Dahl Story Company deeply apologize for the lasting and understandable hurt caused by some of Roald Dahl's statements. Those prejudiced remarks are incomprehensible to us and stand in marked contrast to the man we knew and to the values at the heart of Roald Dahl's stories. We hope that, just as he did at his best, at his absolute worst, Roald Dahl can help remind us of the lasting impact of words. The Times also included additional remarks from his family saying, "We loved Roald, but we passionately disagree with his anti-Semitic comments." 400 Israeli entrepreneurs and business people, as well as government officials, are in Dubai, taking part in the first ever UAE-Israel Future Digital Economy Summit, GITEX Tech Week 2020. GITEX stands for Gulf Information Technology Exhibition, and the gathering was presented by the Dubai World Trade Center together with the Israel Export Institute and Microsoft. Israel's head of Arabic language new media section at the Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Yonatan Gonen, tweeted about the event, which he wrote was unimaginable just a few months ago. Retweeting GITEX, sharing the news and explaining that the summit with Israel presented vast opportunities for business collaborations, investor networking, sharing of ideas, and experiencing mind-boggling innovations of 2 of the world's most future-driven nations. Well, a book to educate children about optimism and resilience in the darkest of times is now out. I Am Anne Frank was written by Brad Meltzer and illustrated by Chris Eliopoulos for their Ordinary People Change the World series. Meltzer, who is Jewish, told the Times of Israel that many young people today lack basic knowledge about the Holocaust. He also noted that last year had the highest increase of anti-Semitic incidents in 40 years. Meltzer said our kids need hope right now. That's Anne Frank's main message and the message of the book. Towards the end of the book, Anne is seen celebrating Hanukkah, which begins this Thursday night, with the passage, "You can always find light in the darkest places. That's what hope is." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, December the 7th. At 7 o'clock, it's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. At 7:15, episode 10 of The Jewish Story Explained for Hanukkah, telling how the rise of Greek culture and Hellenization in Judea drives the Maccabees to defeat the Syrian army and rededicate the temple in Jerusalem. At 7:30, actor Mike Burstyn talks about his movie directing debut, Azimuth, about an Israeli soldier and Egyptian soldier in conflict after the Six-Day War. At 8 o'clock, Colonel David Hacham, who served in IDF intelligence and participated in Oslo, forecasts U.S.-Israeli relations in a Biden administration, with Benjamin Anthony for the Miriam Institute. At 9 tonight, Mark Golub sits down with Matan Peleg on L'chaim. At 10, journalist Ronen Bergman talks about the history of the Mossad and addresses the moral issues relating to targeted assassinations at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up next, it's Good Week Israel. And a reminder for you that Comcast Xfinity will premiere JBS tomorrow, Tuesday, December the 8th. If you have friends or family with Comcast Xfinity, please let them know that they will be able to watch JBS on channel 1684 starting tomorrow. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, December the 7th, 2020. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy. Stay well.